Peace, family. So we back. It's been a lot going on this week, and as y'all can see, I've been a little bit all over the place, you know what I mean? But today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about you do not see your own light the same way you do not smell your own natural scent. You know what I'm saying? You do not see your light the same way you do not smell your scent. And I was pondering on this the other day, and I just kept processing and just kept smiling to myself like, yo, these two analogies can go together and they make a lot of sense. Because we all have a natural body odor. I don't care how it smells, up, down, good, bad. We all have our own natural odor. And for the most part, most of us don't smell each other's natural odor in the Western world because it's so much artificial scents and sprays, you know. And some people got organic sprays and shit that they put on them, but they're still overpowering their natural odor and scent that comes within them in their body, you know what I mean? And what kind of made me also reprocess this too was I used to think when my daughter came back sometimes that maybe it's the body wash or the hairspray and stuff that they be using at the other house that, you know, makes her smell the way she smells, like damn near like her odor is like a perfume scent, a natural perfume scent. You know, it's just like some kind of sweet perfume-y aroma, and it's always really weird because she'll get out the bath or something, and I'm like, damn. I'm using my homemade soap that I'm making now, so I know it doesn't have a lot of scents to it, you know what I mean? So, because I didn't add a bunch to it, but she still has her odor to it. And it just brought me to the realization of the same way I could smell her scent, she cannot smell her own scent. It's the same way I can see her light, and she cannot see her own light. I cannot see my own light. I cannot smell my own scent. Only time I can smell my scent is if my body is doing that thing where it's pushing out toxins, and you know, you start to smell the aroma from the toxins in your body, you know, meaning sweaty armpits, you know what I'm saying? Or like you might have been in the same socks or running and your feet has an odor, you know, those kind of things that's different than your natural odor. These are odors and scents and smells that can, it's your body telling itself, okay, I need some maintenance, you know what I'm saying? Whether you do it or not, it's up to you. But it brought me to that realization that most of us don't see our lights. Just like it doesn't matter if somebody tells you how bright you're shining, you're still not going to notice your own light because you know that you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you may have a pound of shit going on in your life right now, and you don't even realize how hard your light is still willy beaming, just like you don't even realize people can still smell you. This is something that's hard for us, but we get to a better understanding as we get older, you know what I mean? And then as we get older, that's when we use our confirmations from our beings and our life experiences around us, and we could be like, oh, I have been beaming my light. Okay, these beings have pointed out enough things within me that made me want to time travel to the past and start reflecting on my real life experiences. Once you remove all the scents and smells we put on us, we would all have a better chance at getting a whiff of each other's natural smell and scent and aroma. You know what I mean? Because your natural scent and aroma says a lot about your genetics, and it says a lot about you as a being. You know what I mean? So I always thought it was weird to me, which is a good thing, but I always thought it was weird when females would tell me that I smell good. I don't put Axe or cologne or none of that shit on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was very few occasions where I might use a dab of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, say I'm going into the courtroom or something, you know what I'm saying? And maybe I had just smoked, so now I'm just only using it to try to block out the weed smoke. But outside of that, I'm not using it to block up my natural odor, you know what I'm saying? That's like me trying to dim my light as much as possible, you know? Both of those go hand in hand. If you can block your odor, what makes you feel as if though you won't block your own light? you don't smell your odor, so it doesn't bother you if you block it or not. You can smell the scent she put on you, so you feel better. Oh, I like the way this lavender smell. Oh, I like the way this roses smell. What about the way you smell? What about your own natural odor? You know, we aren't even comfortable in our own natural odors. So how could you be aware of the light that you beaming if you're not even aware of your odor? You know, we know the invisible realm is extremely real and powerful. You know what I mean? So when I was diving, I had to process that, because it took me to a space of being like, right now I am the example and the curse breaker. You know, my nephew, he hit me on a regular basis, the younger generation, even my niece, he told me some stuff his sister said that, you know, I had did that has stuck with her, you know, and I have less engagements with her than I do my nephew, but I am the example and the it factor for the next generation. I don't give a fuck about what everybody else is doing, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if I got any examples for me. Most of us, we grow up in such witchy ass situations that we see so much witchy stuff, we know what we're not going to do. The demonic people are the ones who pick up those witchy tactics and continue to live life and grow within that playbook over there. We came from a different space. So when we was experiencing all that witchy shit happening to us, we didn't process it as like, oh, okay, this is a tactic I could use for later down the line. You know, we processed it as, oh, I'm not gonna do that with mine when I get older, or that's something that I'm definitely not going to do when I get to the next place or space. You know what I'm saying? So even though we all had these weird spaces and witchy spaces we grew up in the Western world, we all had different outlooks. We had different outlooks. You know what I mean? I chose, my sister is 5 years older than me. I chose to do the opposite of what my mom had did to us. My sister chose to do exactly what the fuck my mom did to us, to hers. Exactly. My mom has 4 children. 3 boys, 1 girl. And my mom had hers young, like 14, not young, of age, 14, 15. My sister had her first at 14, 15. My sister has 4 children, 3 boys, 1 girl. My mom dumped the oldest one off, which is my sister, just threw her out to grandmother, family, and she took care of us, the youngest 3 boys. My sister did the exact same thing to hers, her first oldest, my nephew, her oldest one, threw him out to some uncles and aunts, you know what I'm saying? And she took care of the next 3, you know what I'm saying? The curses are extremely visible if you are aware of what's going on. And when you utilize the beings around you who you actually got to grow up with, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just chose different roads. You can actually compare y'all thought processes against each other, you know? And we only using it to compare to build. We're not using it to compare to destroy. We have to compare. I am very clear and adamant on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is old. I wouldn't go out and buy this now, right? But, and that's only because of the brand that's on it. But I'd seen somebody else wearing this probably somewhere on TV or in real lifetime enough times where it's like, oh, that's kind of saucy, I'ma get it. That was a comparison. We all do these things, you know what I'm saying? I don't make these. I seen somebody else. I love the energy behind it. I love that even if you don't feel as if you get anything from it, I love the transition from real jewelry, you know, to something more organic. You know what I'm saying? Like picking up a rock or a crystal or a stone and using nature to build it and put it together is kind of like how in the Western world we would make, like for the pagan holiday Christmas, we would do like popcorn string, you know what I'm saying? Just a creative decoration to kind of put around the tree. We still did the lights and shit, but sometimes we would iodine and color each popcorn kernel differently. Sometimes we just string it all, but it's just the creativeness and the wholeness and the oneness of it, opposed from just going out buying it from a jeweler, which this jeweler probably didn't even find the gold, burn the gold down, make it molded. They just bought it off the black market for a good price. You know what I mean? So just understanding that the invisible world, our spiritual realm, leads, and it is way stronger than this physical realm. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to see your own light. It don't matter how hard you try to see it. That's like trying to smell your own scent. You could take a fresh bath with plain soap and still trying to smell yourself. You will not be able to smell your own scent. But you go past your spouse, your siblings or somebody, they can get a whiff of you. They can smell your scent. Not saying that your sin is bad. I'm just saying this is a part of you that's spiritual and that's invisible, that you cannot see, feel, smell. The same thing is the light that's beaming from you. Every time I film, I have to film with the sun in my face, because if I film the other way, it would be literally glaring the whole screen. It would be willy beaming. You know what I'm saying? The sun probably don't know how hard it's beaming, but we do. Oh, okay. I feel you. Y'all know how it is. When you really out here living this life, the universe is gonna let you know. You don't have to convince anybody. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep putting that work in. I've never been a fan of trying to convince somebody. I don't need you to convince you to smell my scent. I don't need to convince you to see my light, motherfucker. And to be honest, I didn't even know it was a light until other motherfuckers showed me and told me, you know what I'm saying? Until I didn't know my natural scent, what it smelled like, until enough females had commented. You know what I'm saying? We don't know certain things until we getting that shit reflected back to us from the outside realm. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to be in line and in tune with these things, you know what I mean? But your light is something that you just have to know it's there. It's you. You know, it's like my smell and my scent. I know it's just there. It's me. It's okay if you don't see or feel your light, just like you can't see or feel your scent, but you know it's there. You know what I'm saying? You just have to know that it's doing what it do. All of this plays into how your light beams, and it also plays a factor in where you're receiving your information from. Where you're receiving your information from, what team you riding with. You know what I mean? All of that plays a factor into it. But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I mean? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.